Perfect. All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this $7,500 federal tax credit for the Model 3 and Model Y, and we'll take a look at some of the details on it because it seems like this tax credit is retroactive. We noticed this yesterday when we were taking a look at the official website, which I'll show you exactly which website that is. Of course, it's also linked down below in the description, and we'll talk about that plus a variety of different topics. So before we get into that, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there that has all the links to all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla, all lower than Tesla financing. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And shout out to my latest Patreon members. We got Martin, Yan, Antonio, Robert, Edward, Eric, Shubhang, sorry if I messed that up, Murillo, thank you for joining, thank you for supporting. If you want to check it out, Patreon link down below in the description. But let us take a look at this. If you don't know what happened very recently, Tesla released information, and it's official, that the $7,500 federal tax credit qualifies for all trims of the Tesla Model 3 and also all trims of the Tesla Model Y. And you've probably seen all the headlines with now the Model 3 is cheaper than like a lot of different vehicles out there. In most states, you can get the Model 3 after all the incentives. Not most states, many states, you can get the Model 3 after incentives, factoring state and federal incentives, to like the high $27,000 to $28,000 range. And of course, that's using the current inventory discount that is on the Model 3 standard range. So we got the Model 3 standard range, the Model 3 long range that was newly just reintroduced, that is back and also has a discount. And of course, the Model 3 Performance, where yesterday we highlighted there are massive discounts on Model 3 Performances, anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 off a Model 3 Performance. So if you're in the market for a Model 3, it is a great time if you're looking for discounts. But if you don't know, there are current things on the near horizon, maybe even a new refresh labeled Project Highland. If you don't know about that, if you always want the latest thing, if you're someone that always wants the latest iPhone, always wants the latest gadget, then just be aware of that. There could be a new Tesla Model 3 refresh and redesign in maybe the next 6 to 12 months. But if you're someone that loves a great deal, just like me, I want good deal, good low payments, and great financing, then I would 100% consider purchasing a Model 3 right now. Maybe even a Model 3 standard range, go big, go home, or go big all the way to a Model 3 Performance. And let me show you exactly really quickly on where you can get these discounts. If you go to waitingfortesla.com, you can see current inventory that's available across the United States. Switch it to Model 3, and you can see right here on the screen, there are massive discounts across the board, $2,400 all the way up to $6,000. But before you do any of that, please consider using a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, because if you use a Tesla referral code, you can get 1,500 Tesla credits, which can be used for Tesla supercharging miles in the amount of $500. But let us get into this a little bit further. So if you don't know, there's plenty of videos on the channel talking about the federal tax credit and how to calculate yourself whether you're going to be able to get the full advantage or not. But the TLDR is, here's a website called smartasset.com. It's a quick estimator of income and federal taxes and things like that. You can put in your income, put in a little bit of your situation. It doesn't matter on the location because we'll only look at the federal taxes, and you can see by the last year what your federal tax liability in full is. Of course, this is W-2 income, paycheck people that get paychecks and get their income, because every single paycheck, a little bit of it gets taken out of your federal taxes. And so at the end of the year for 2022, this hypothetical person that made $75,000 will pay a total of $9,268 of taxes. So essentially, when you buy a Model 3 or Model Y that has a $7,500 federal tax rate, you will redeem redeem the full $7,500 federal tax credit next year when you file for your taxes as an enhanced refund. There's still a lot of bit of confusion out there because there's words like refundable tax credit and non-refundable. It has nothing to do with how much you get back on your taxes, but it has everything to do with how much you as an individual pay per year in taxes and how much money you'll be getting back. And it might be stackable. I've known some people in the past that have done multiple electric vehicles and got more vehicles back. But this is where people get confused, because if you make less money, so we're going to put $60,000 in here, you can see it massively goes down in terms of your federal liability. It goes down to $36.81. So hypothetically, if a person that makes $60,000 buys a Model 3 right now, they would only get a max of $3,681 back. Oh, sorry, this is married. So sorry, I was married. So if you're single making $60,000, you'll get $5,968 back. Of course, this is an oversimplification of all this. Certainly consult or ask a CPA. But I can tell you, I have certainly we've had the Model 3, the Model Y, S, and X, and I've taken advantage of this same exact EV electric vehicle tax program multiple times. And so it is possible. It is nice to get a bigger check back at tax time. And so it is 100% certainly worth it. But I know the title says it is retroactive as well. So this is a website down below in the description as well. If you want to take a look at it, this is fueleconomy.gov. This is where the government is updating which vehicles actually qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit and which vehicles actually do not. So you can see here, there's two check boxes, and you can play around and go to this website yourself. There's first checkbox, vehicle placed in service after April 18th, and that's currently where we are now. And you can see if you scroll down to the Tesla section, both Model 3 and Model Y all qualify for this enhanced $7,500 federal tax credit. Of course, if you've been paying attention, you'll know exactly how much you'll be getting as an individual. But let's say we click this vehicle placed in service after December 31st, 2022, but before April 18th of 2023. So basically from January of the new year to now, and you can see kind of the same exact thing. Model 3 across the board, $55,000 MSRP price cap. You qualify for the $7,500, could be a 2022 or 2023. And then also Model Y, $7,500 off the bat. So basically, the TLDR is if you have purchased a Model 3 or Model Y, you could be eligible for the full $7,500 federal tax credit when you file for your taxes next year. And if you're looking to purchase a vehicle and you want to take advantage of that $7,500 federal tax credit now, that's where financing partners like Tenet come into play. Tenet allows you to finance your vehicle and basically defer a portion of that loan, maybe even that $7,500 federal tax credit, all the way to the end, which then results into a lower monthly payment for financing your EV or Tesla. So definitely check out Tenet down below in the description. And also thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this video and a bunch of videos this month. But hopefully that clarifies it. That's a quick 20-second elevator or 8-minute elevator pitch on how the tax credit works and how it's actually retroactive for most people this year that bought a Tesla Model 3. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link. You support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there. So definitely check it out if you're interested. All right, Geoman, thanks for coming in. Paul, thanks for coming in. Amber, thank you for coming in. I hope everyone is well. What is today? Today's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. But definitely some cool stuff coming down the pipeline. Model 3 inventory is still up there. It trickled down just a little bit. You can see right here, we went from 1,162 vehicles down to 1,138. And so this is scary. This is scary to me because I know a lot of you out there are buying Tesla Model 3s and Model Ys, but Model 3 specifically, it does not look like the demand is stronger than the inventory. I just got a comment earlier on one of my videos that said that basically Tesla does not have a demand problem. This happens every single end of quarter, and I would argue to say that I'm not sure we see inventory get to this high level at the end of every single single quarter. So we are certainly seeing a lot of Model 3s. And I've been saying for a while that it is the end of the quarter, last month of the quarter, June. And, Tesla's got to hit sales quarter numbers. My next prediction is June 15th, which is a Thursday, halfway through the middle of this month. I think we will see some sort of enhancement in terms of promotion or incentives. I'm either putting my money on a lower subsidized interest rate, maybe 3.99 or 4.99, and even a extra $1,000 price, maybe even a base starting price or discounted price of $36,990. And the reason why I talk about that, the reason why I reference that is because if you take a look at this price history chart, this fancy dandy price history chart, the Model 3 standard range, the lowest price it's ever been in February of 2021 was $36,990. So fingers crossed, maybe, but we'll definitely keep our eyes out and take a look and seeing if that actually happens. And then, actually a couple more things. We are running a giveaway on the channel. If you want to join in, we're working with OC Tint Solutions to give away free 3M ceramic tint for your Tesla. So if you're interested in joining that, go head on over to our community page where we do all of our voting polls. Scroll down a little bit to this post right here. It's going to have a link for this video where you can go ahead and enter in and follow the instruction on how to potentially win free 3M ceramic tint for your Tesla. And on top of that, this Friday, we are working with RIVIAN, formerly known as Tenet. They're a Tesla part accessory company. We're going to be giving away a Tesla accessory for your Model Y as well. It's going to be Friday's live stream. So definitely hit the subscribe and tune in because we're going to be giving away a Tesla accessory for your Tesla Model Y. And it's one of some value, actually. It's not just one of these like rinky dink cheap ones. It's a nicely priced one in the middle, I would say. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested in either of that. In this next topic, Volvo has come to the plate with a very interesting proposition. And this interesting proposition costs $35,000. It's an electric vehicle and it's an SUV. So we'll talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And so let us take a look at this. Shout out to Kyle Connor. Quote, I spent the day with the new Volvo USA EX30. It is awesome. Quote, $35,000 starting price. I don't know about you all, but that is a fantastic price. That's essentially more cheaper than a Model 3 standard range right now. I mean, granted, there could be tax credits or there could not be tax credits. And of course, right now with the Model 3 standard range, there's tax credits and state incentives that gets you under $35,000. But an MSRP of $35,000, this could lease very, very, very well. 3.4 seconds in 0 to 60. That's really, really, really fast. 275 mile range. That's not bad at all, especially considering the price of the vehicle. I mean, you're basically driving, I guess this seems to be like, it's not Bolt or Leaf competition. It's kind of in this like weird in-between segment between like a Model 3, Model Y, but also like not as cheap as a Bolt and Leaf. It's kind of interesting, but 69 kilowatt battery size, a great software cross-country version, and the look definitely looks very, very fantastic. I mean, I guess it's not true SUV. You can see kind of represented by Kyle's height. It's maybe a little bit lower, so maybe like a sedan SUV, kind of like maybe a Nissan Kick or like a BMW X1 or something like that. But it looks fantastic. You can see right here of course the vertical screen, which they're doing on a bunch of the vehicles, and I certainly like the look of it. And the biggest thing that came out is that this vehicle actually goes on ordering very, very soon, and then you should be able to get delivery in summer of 2024. Actually, no, it's not that soon at all. It's actually pretty far out, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. Would you consider this? I mean, of course, a couple of years from now is going to be a different ball game at the end of the day with plenty of vehicles. There could even be a Model Y, Model 2 competitor that looks just like this with this Model 2 next gen vehicle that could be coming out for $25,000. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down in the description is the Patreon link. We support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Marks, thanks for coming in. Akshay, Warfox, thank you for supporting. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hitting the like button. But yeah, definitely a pretty interesting time. If you're on the sidelines for buying a Model 3 like Warfox is, because I think that's where he is at or she is at, Model 3 inventory is certainly on the up and up and up. So I certainly feel like there could be another incentive to try and push some sort of end year or month end quarter sales. Maybe I'm still sticking to my June 15 date at the moment, because that's where I really feel like it could be a great time around that time. I mean, if anything, it's either going to be June 15th or the Thursday after that. What is that, like June 22nd, something like that? But we'll see, of course. And in this next topic, we're going to compare the Tesla Model 3 versus the Tesla Model Y pricing. And the last time we did this, Tesla pricing just did not make any sort of sense at all. But now, with the tax credits factored in, federal tax credits, it makes a little bit more sense, but we'll take a look at it. But I want to know, what is your thoughts? Which vehicle are you going to be purchasing? But at the same time, there is also inventory discounts, so it's a little bit convoluted at the end of the day. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best behind Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. So there's a lot of news that have came out recently, especially regarding the Model 3. Model 3 now qualifies for a full $7,500 federal tax credit across the board. This joins the Model Y, which also qualifies for the full $7,500 federal tax credit across the board. But there's 3 trims in each version. Of course, there's the rear wheel drive on the Model 3, long range and performance, and then on the Model Y there is the standard range vehicle, and then you've got the long range, and then also the performance at the end of the day. But the quick plug, really quick, if you are interested in placing an order on the Tesla website, or even going to our favorite site, waitingfortesla.com, to get an extra discount, please consider using our Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, because if you use our Tesla referral code, you can get some Tesla credits, which then translates to 500 supercharging miles. But let's just quickly look at the spread. So I did this earlier today, where we basically adjusted the last time, and you can see I took 3 trims of both vehicles, the Model 3 and the Model Y. I factored in the 7,500 federal tax credit, because I feel like most people that are purchasing this vehicle should qualify for the full amount. If you don't know how it works, or if you don't know how much you will actually get, there's plenty of videos that we've made on the channel. But basically, you have to make, as a single earner W2 income, around $68,000 to $70,000 at a minimum, W2 single person, to qualify for the full amount back, the $7,500, when you file for your taxes next year. Of course, there are other ways, like channel sponsors like Tenet down below in the description, to get a lower monthly payment by deferring that $7,500 tax credit. But here are the prices of the vehicles compared. So we've got the Model 3 standard range rear-wheel drive at an MSRP of $40,240. There is a $7,500 federal tax credit, which brings it down to $32,700. If we take the same standard range Model Y all-wheel drive with the MSRP of $47,240, $7,500 federal tax credit, you can see the difference between the Model 3 and the Model Y is about $7,000. Model Y is $39,740 adjusted, and the Model 3 is $32,740 adjusted. But of course, this difference gets even more greater, because right now, as you know, as we highlight on this channel, there is a $2,400 give or take discounted on inventory Tesla Model 3s, and of course long ranges and performance. Not as big on the long range, but you can see right in the middle that the difference between an inventory Model Y and an inventory standard range is about $9,000. Of course, there is a small $500 inventory discount on hardware 3.0 Model Ys, but not sure if you would actually want that at the end of the day. And it seems like a lot of you do not want that. We asked this poll earlier today. Model Y reservation holders, would you consider a Model Y with hardware 3.0? An overwhelming 42% said no. 19% said yes, 4% said only if it had a $1,000 to $2,000 discount, and 23% said only if it had a $2,500 to $3,500 plus discount. But I mean, if I were taking a look at this, I'm not sure I could justify spending almost $10,000 more for a Model Y standard range. I mean, the Model Y standard range is nice, but I'm not sure if it's $10,000 nicer than the Model 3. And essentially that's what, 40%, well, 30% more in price you're paying. So I think if I was looking for the best daily driver, something to get me around town that I didn't have a huge family, then I'm pretty sure I would go with the standard range rear wheel drive. And then taking a look at the long range, you can see the spread right here on the screen. Of course, long range in inventory has a $500 discount, and also long range a Model Y also has like a $500 discount. But here's the pricing spread. It's only a $3,000 difference between the Model 3 long range and the Model Y long range. That is certainly more palatable to me. That's like what, 8%, 9% difference at the end of the day. And so I think I would go 100% for the Model Y long range. But the performance trims make absolutely no sense at all still. So you can see the Model 3 Performance adjusted price is $45,740, and then the Model Y Performance is $46,740. So it's basically only $1,000 more for a Model Y Performance. And so I'm pretty sure a lot of you, if you're in the market for a performance, you're most likely going to go for a Model Y Performance for the more form and functionality of it, unless you are a true track person that just loves the handling, the low to the ground type of feel at the end of the day. And so you'll go for the Model 3 Performance. But I feel like there was certainly a tide for a while where a lot of people were buying Model Ys. It seems like that was the thing. Everybody wanted to ask questions about the Model Y, but there certainly has been an uptick recently on the Model 3, and it's most likely because of all these massive discounts across the board that Tesla has introduced. And so if you're interested in buying a Tesla vehicle, first, definitely hit our referral code down below in the description. We'd love to appreciate it, so that you can get free supercharger miles. Do not go to the Tesla websites to place an order. Go to waitingfortesla.com. Shout out to TJ and the team, and thank you for building this great site. Take a look at a vehicle near you, filter it down by state, and then go ahead, place the order, click reserve. It's going to take you to the Tesla website, and make sure you get this referral code checkbox, and then that way you'll be able to get the 500 credits. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me. We can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks out there that have lower interest rates than Tesla, lower than Tesla's staggering 5.69%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all Patreon DMs or direct messages in the Patreon app. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. All right, Geo Man, do you like your Model X? Yeah, actually the Model X is great. I mean, I think it's the great blend of functionality, form, 7 seats, air suspension. I'm a big fan of the Model S and Model X air suspension. But the quality of the Model X, I'll just say that Tesla service is coming very, very soon to try and fix some build quality issues. And so hopefully, fingers crossed, it gets it fixed and everything is all gravy. But we've had 4 Teslas so far, right? The Model 3, the Model Y, S, and Model X. And I would say probably build quality wise, it comes up in a toss up between the Model Y, fantastic build quality, and the Model S, maybe in a close second, but Model X is great. I think we're going to keep it for a while. Paul, thanks for coming in. Welcome back. Now that you've owned the Model X, do you want to go back to a Model 3, Y, S, or Y? It's a great question. We love the X, but whenever I see Model S's these days on the roads, I don't know about you all, but Model S just has like a certain stance about it that is a little bit menacing as well. I mean, I think it's just wider, lower. It's definitely got a nice look to it, especially like an all black one. Well, not this is an older one, but an all like white one or all black one. It just looks really menacing. I think because most of them are set to a low suspension because it's got air suspension. But I don't know. And Model S is pretty comfortable as well. But would I go back to one? I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, the tax credit is so massive that maybe, but on the Model 3 and Model Y, but who knows? Amber, best news I've heard all week. I bought my Model 3 the last week of April. Congrats. Now you can qualify for an extra 7,500 or a total of 7,500 marks. Do you know if you reject your order, will they pull another vehicle out of existing inventory to place the one you rejected, or to be fresh from the factory? It could be a combination of both. Like you could literally get someone else's rejected order. So fingers crossed on that. But the one thing I do know is that they're pretty lenient with people rejecting hardware 3.0, so that could work for you. Akshay, thanks for coming in. Welcome in. Good evening, and thanks for being a Patreon member. Warfox, inventory is climbing. Yes, especially the Model 3 inventory. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about, and so I really feel like there's going to be more incentives very, very soon. River, it looks like a small car for sure. Yeah, the Volvo definitely is a small car. Warfox, definitely, and yes, I'm waiting until the 15th or 20th to place an order. I would get either a midnight or just white. Nice. Blue is nice, and also white's pretty good too. Hood, just purchased mine today, and it's funny, Tenet would not approve me, but Chase did. Yeah, Tenet, I mean, that's a good thing with Tenet, right? And I feel like Tenet should be a part of your application process because it's a quick 15 to 30 minutes that they can get you approved or not to give you a decision. And on top of that, they are a Tesla approved lender. So definitely check out Tenet if you're interested, and down below in the description. And thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this video and a bunch of videos this month. I think my work doesn't have an EV charger when I get the car. I'm going to make a big deal out of it. Yeah, that'd be nice. If you can get free charging at work, I think that's like the best, because I feel like most people spend 3, 4, 5, 8 hours a day at work. So if you can go to work, charge, and not pay for it, that's the kicker, right? Plus, New York gives a big check to work that EV to install EV chargers, so win-win. Oh, nice. Fresno, California. Should I get a Model 3 Performance? Worth it or long range? It really depends. Like I've had the Model 3 Performance and the Model Y Performance, and it's really a waste on me because I'm never really in the sport mode, and I want to preserve tire life. So I made a video on the channel where I got a Model Y Performance. I sold or traded the 21-inch rims for the 20s because the 20s are a square setup, so you can rotate them. So, but I mean, it is fun. It's a party trick to just throw it in sport mode and just go on it all the way. Warfox, if you like fast cars, go P. If you like range, then long range better. Yeah, 100%, 100%. The 2021 Model 3, great car. Seems like a fun car. Yeah, 100%. P is a great car. Yeah, kind of high, but refinancing for the rebate. Exactly. Yeah, refinance with credit union. Exactly. Monterey. Any news on the Model 3 refresh? I've been waiting on that to come out, but I still don't know if it's worth the wait. I think it's going to be Q4, maybe even December or even January. Because if you think about it, right? I guess if we think like macroly and logically, Tesla's probably focused on the Cybertruck ramp and delivery at this point, and they've said Q3, September or something like that. And so I feel like they're going to do that first, then let it cool down and focus on that, and then probably do Model 3 deliveries after that. So I don't think we're going to be seeing that just yet. Delta Jesus, thanks for coming in. I'm sorry, your label is printed. I was going to send you the tracking number, but it's still sitting on my floor. Sorry, I have not been able to run out and drop it off at UPS, but 100% I will do it this Saturday. So I'll let you know once it's done. You can win your giveaway for the Electron charger. But sorry for the delay, and it probably will get to you super quick because we're still all in California at the end of the day. What if you haven't accepted delivery yet next week, Wednesday, and did the Wells Fargo 5.69? Are you locked in with Wells Fargo, or can you do a lower percentage like someone like Tenet? Yes, Reflect the Sun. You can do any financing and all. You can go through any of the credit unions, and also you can refinance with any of the credit unions as well. So that's where you can work with all these different banks to try and get a better deal for you at the end of the day. And that's where you can get our full list of all the credit unions down below in the Patreon link, which all have better rates than Tesla's / Wells Fargo 5.69%. So you can do that beforehand. You basically tell Tesla you're going to use an outside lender, or you can use a credit union to refinance after that. And that's actually a great point, Reflect the Sun. Maybe I should make an updated video. We've got a lot of reoccurring themes, and maybe we should update like, hey, because I feel like a lot of people, they don't know, like when they go to the Tesla website and they see whatever vehicle that they're buying, I feel like a lot of people have bought the Model Model 3, they really only see these three options, right? They see cash, lease, and loan. And then they feel like they have to go through Tesla financing. But that's the thing. You do not have to go through Tesla financing at all. You can always back out. You can always use a different lender. You just have to tell Tesla that you're going to be using a different lender because there's a little bit of paperwork to go back and forth. And so there are plenty of ways where you can beat and get lower than this 5.69%. So actually this Friday's video, you know what? Because it is a giveaway, because we're working with RIVIAN / Tamai to give away a Tesla accessory for your Tesla Model Y, which I feel like, actually I'm going to message them because maybe we should do a Model 3 giveaway as well at the same time. Maybe pick two winners. So maybe we'll do that. I should probably make an updated video on to figure out how to let people know and educate them how you can use other outside financing, walk you through a little bit of the steps, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there right now that have recently placed a deposit or placed an order off for a Model 3 because of these massive discounts. And so there's probably a lot of confusion on how to actually get the best deal. But if you just bought a Tesla, if you are about to buy a Tesla, definitely check out our Tesla accessory codes down below in the description as well. We've got various discounts on a bunch of different companies out there. We got 3D Mats USA if you're looking for a premium floor mat for your Tesla. We've got Tamai, which was on the screen just a second ago. We got Jaguar, Tesla, and MAGBAK. So extra discounts for buying Tesla accessories, which there's a lot of them are pretty good at the end of the day. All right, what else we got? Let's do one more topic and then we'll go back to the live stream comments to answer all of your questions. In this next topic, we're going to talk about range anxiety and really what's the definition of it, what's the truth. But really my question to you all is, what does range anxiety mean to you? And because there's a bunch of other feelings out there with range anxiety, and I feel like the definition has certainly changed at the end of the day through all the years. But we'll talk about it and get into it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. So really, of course, there's many definitions of range anxiety, but the first thing is that most people, when they look at vehicles for purchasing an electric vehicle, they gravitate to how many miles it can actually do at the end of the day, right? Right now we have the Model 3 standard range coming in at 272 miles of range, but you can charge that vehicle all the way to 100% because it has a different battery chemistry. But I feel like most people gravitate to the long range, and as we talked about the pricing before, it could certainly make a lot of sense because it has 333 miles of range. But I feel like, okay, so we've purchased what, 4 EVs so far right now, the Model 3, the Model Y, S, and X. And I feel like to me, range doesn't matter as much because I figured out all the different maps on my routes, on the mechanics of all the superchargers, the chargers. We've got a home charger as well. And so range doesn't really mean as much because I'm not necessarily doing many or massive road trips all the time, like to Vegas or anywhere, thing like that. So it really doesn't need to have too much range. And I really feel like 250 miles of range is what's needed at the end of the day. And so my question to you is, do you think range anxiety has everything to do with road trips, or does it have to do with charging locations? Are we in a different world where charger anxiety means more important to you, like figuring out, are you going to charge at home, which I know a lot of people might not have the luxury to do that, or are you going to be charging at superchargers or even level 2 chargers at work, which I think is probably like the next best thing, because you're going to be at work anyways from 5 to 8 hours. So it certainly makes a lot of sense. Or does range anxiety mean how fast the speed of charging is? Does it matter to you how fast you can spend your time at a quick supercharger during 20 minutes to 30 minutes? Or if you go to the mall and walk around for 3 hours and charge at a level 2 charger while you're chilling at the mall, shopping, and also eating dinner or something like that. So I feel like it makes a lot of sense at the end of the day, but The one thing I would say is after you buy your first electric vehicle and understand the ecosystem, the anxiety of all this stuff, because it's really just unknown at the end of the day, right? And so once you've learned it all and understood it, then it gets a lot better and a lot more comfortable with buying an electric vehicle. And I feel like you'll never want to do a different way at the end of the day. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. And let me know what you feel like. What does range anxiety mean to you? Whether it's road trips, charging locations, home or at work, or just really just the speed of charging, or just all of the above. But we're going to jump back into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you support the channel. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Let's see. If China recently got the upgrade, we'll most likely going to wait 1 to 2 quarters. Did China get it yet? I haven't seen any headlines on that yet, but maybe. Let's see. Model 3 China refresh. Oop. Spy pictures. Yeah, not yet, right? I haven't seen anything. I probably would have seen that already, but there's probably a lot of rumors on it. I'm holding my order of Model Y Performance for reason you just said. I don't know if that's a good buy or just getting another Model 3. I mean, if you got money to save on your taxes, Model 3 is pretty hard. And let's just walk through this. I mean, I feel like the in-between topics is the best time because these parts don't necessarily get clipped out, right? It's just, but we can, talk to each other. But let's just think about it. If you're someone out there, you make good income. Let's just figure out the math. 125. Ooh, that's a lot of ink. That's a lot of taxes. Ooh. Okay, let's do 110. Single earner 110. You're paying what? 17,128. Let's see how low we can take this. $100,000. 6 figures. High cost of living states. Probably a good amount of a good percentage of you. Okay, so let's take this example. $100,000. Single person. Your tax liability is $14,768. Well, you can essentially make that number 0. Want to know how? Well, you know how. Buy a Model 3. Buy 2 Model 3s maybe. Who knows? Talk to a CPA, of course. Because yes, there is the CVRP. CVRP is 1 per driver's license, but you can essentially get this down to what, high 28, 29, maybe 30 out the door with taxes, fees, anything like that, maybe $35,000. Let's just take a quick look. I'm going to pull up the old auction sites because we can see, I mean, of course, these auction sites are not going to be as reflective of what has been happening recently with these pricing discounts or anything like that. But I've certainly been thinking about this for a while now. So, of course, when you buy a Tesla today, that's going to be a 2023 Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive. So this is auction data right now. This is up-to-date auction data. 2023 Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive 4-door sedan. Last data point as of 6/4/62. Not bad. Not bad. You can essentially buy the car, drive it for a few months, and you might be able to get out of the vehicle scotch-free with it, or maybe even make a little bit of money. Who knows? Who knows? So I'm not saying you should flip Teslas, but you could be saving a lot on your taxes at the end of the day. I mean, I haven't done the exact math on it, but it might be interesting to do that, especially if you need a car right now for a few months, but you want to wait till the Highland or the new Model Y or anything like that. It could certainly make a lot of sense for sure. China is pretty much let's test here location. Yeah, it makes sense. Reflect. Even if I click the agree box within their app, just as long as if you haven't taken delivery, yes, you can change it anytime you want. You just got to email Tesla. You can actually get the email list and you can get the email address in the Patreon link down below in the description. If you agree to the loan contract, then you can't do anything, but you'll probably have to pay the contract and clear possibly the fixed rate. You can always change. Going to be sad if they potentially miss any additional incentives for purchasing this week. It could be, yeah. Do another charger giveaway, my boy Dennis. Yeah, maybe. I mean, hopefully Electron got some good traction from it, from all of y'all clicking the links. Maybe they'll be interested. Well, you'll most likely going to miss out on a big refresh, but the refresh is just a few minor changes. Yeah, exactly. It's probably going to be like 2020 Model S to 2021 Model S, probably similar like that. Thank you. out of Model Y and Model 3, honestly, I prefer the Model 3. Ride way better and so much better ride. Range isn't a scare for me anymore. Yeah, it's also a sportier feel if you're looking for that. It was just scary because you don't know what to do when you're out of battery. Legit, no worries. Yeah, 100%. How do we qualify to the CVRP for second or third time buyer? It's one per driver's license. So if you do it once, you're pretty much done. If you buy an EV, you're going to give up a few hours of your time. Yeah, 100%. Any vendor you recommend that will have a code for the two... sorry, I'm not very good with the towing stuff at all. Sorry. I make around 67,650. Would that fully qualify? Let's take a look. I think that's right on the threshold for a single earner. So well, look at that. Look at... Did you just put that in and just ask me that, right? Because that looks right on the money. Look at that, 7651. So you are perfectly right on the money. Reflect. No, thank you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for supporting. Thank you all for hitting the like button, the comments, and the subscribe. Definitely, if you're interested in winning free tint for your Tesla, definitely check out our community page on our channel. Scroll down a little bit to this post, and there's a link right here to enter in. We're working with OC Tint Solutions to give away free tint for your Tesla. It could be a Model 3, Model Y, S, or even X. And on top of that, if you're about to buy a Tesla or you just bought a Tesla, definitely check out our Tesla accessory codes down below in the description as well, so you can save a little bit of money. We got 3D Mats USA, Tamai, Jawa, Tesla, and MAGBAK. And on top of that, definitely hit that subscribe, because this Friday we will be doing a giveaway with Tamai / Vion. That's our new company name. We're going to be giving away an accessory for your Tesla Model Y. So definitely hit the subscribe. It's going to be same type of setup. And on top of that, if you are interested in buying a Tesla, definitely check out our referral code down below in the description. We definitely appreciate it, because if you use our referral code to buy a Model S, X, Model 3, or Model Y, you can get extra Tesla credits or even $1,000 off. The process is you go click the link down below in the description first, then go to waitingfortesla.com, find a vehicle that you're interested in, click the reserve link, and then you'll pull it up and it will have a green check mark so that it will show that it is attached, and you will be getting your credits or even added extra discounts. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.